Hello and welcome to another light reading podcast, the Notebook Dump edition. Congratulations, you have made it through yet another week. How did you even do that, given that it's a new year and everything? Good Lord. It seems like every day now I have to spend the first part of my day talking to myself about what day it is and where I am in the week. Is anybody else having this problem?
I do all the time.
And somebody says last year, I have no idea what that means anymore either.
Yeah.
But so here I am, a man without time. I'm Phil Harvey. I'm an editor at Light Reading. Let's go in the order that we're going to cover for intros.
Are we supposed to know that?
I think that was a cue for me. I'm sorry. Hey, Jeff Baumgartner here, senior editor at Light Reading, and first in line, which I forgot. I'm still kind of, I don't know if Mike agrees, but I'm still feeling like I'm still digging out from CES to a degree. It's kind of a weird way to start the year again. You're kind of going like full speed, and then you're like, okay, what was going on when you come back to Earth? But as far as like my notebook, this week, it's, even though it's the start of the new year, tis still the season of layoffs, apparently. This week, DirecTV confirmed that it's doing a layoff that's going to impact about 10% of its managers. And reportedly, when you put it all together, it's like hundreds of employees. So that's kind of coming together as DirecTV is looking to cut costs in different ways in this tough pay TV business that's been getting decimated by cord cutting. So not a great way to start off the year for pay TV, since it was hit like a new rock bottom as the overall rate of decline reached a worst ever, like minus 6.2% in Q3 2022. So we just have a whole new round of Q4 earnings on the horizon. So we'll see if it's getting worse, or is it, are we finally leveling out? Have we found the floor? That's all to come. Maybe in a bit of good news on the TV side, Fox is going to broadcast all of its NFL playoff coverage in 4K. It sounds like they're going to upconvert like 1080p to 4K with high dynamic range. So if you're a customer for certain distributors, whether it's Comcast or Altice, I don't have the whole list in front of me, but if you have a 4K display and a 4K capable set-top or streaming device, you're going to be able to take in some of those games and all the glory of 4K. So at least there's a little positive thing coming out of the TV industry. So those are a couple things this week.
Quick question, two quick questions. One serious, one not so much. Or actually, just a point. The DirecTV thing. It's not just that pay TV is hitting, continuing to be less popular among consumers, and they're seeking streaming options and other things. But there was also that NFL Sunday Ticket thing,
right?
Right. DirecTV used to be the exclusive provider of the most, I guess, expensive subscription product by the most popular sports league in the U.S., and that got yanked away to YouTube TV or Google. So
right.
That seems
good
like
point. You're right, because I think you're right. It's been the exclusive home to DirecTV for its entire existence, basically going to the early days of DirecTV, right around when it launched. I mean, that was like a big selling point for them. Not as much now, but to your point, I think the NFL, kind of figured out that they need to open that up, and streaming is a way that a lot of people are accessing their TV. But so YouTube TV is going to offer it as an add-on, and then YouTube Premium Channels, I think it's called, will offer it as like a standalone if you're not a YouTube TV subscriber. So that'll all start with the new season. I've never subscribed to it. I don't know. Is anybody here? I'm sure Nicole, right? Big NFL fan.
Oh yeah, can't miss a game. I think I love all the hitting, the kicking they do
Yeah.
at the game.
Nicole,
I'm a
sports
huge fan
ball
of the kicking
Ferraro.
parts.
Yeah.
Forward
Exactly.
motion. Woo!
I love all the kicking they do.
The kicking is so good.
As
Oh my God,
a quote,
that
and
kick.
put it on a t-shirt and sell that. That's the new light reading.
But no one
t-shirt.
ever.
Kicking. Yep.
At least Nicole likes the kickers. they don't get enough love.
They don't do a lot of
No,
kicking,
they
right?
don't.
That's not even what they're doing. Never mind.
It's just a great thing to hear.
Basically, they just like
Yes.
wind up the kickers, plug them in
Yeah,
between,
okay.
and charge them up.
Oh man. Yeah, but no, I had to. I trialed it one time when I had DirecTV. They gave it to us free for 3 months or something like that. It's a pretty amazing service. The problem is it's super expensive. The way that YouTube is implementing it is they're trying to make it so that you're not able. You don't have to be a subscriber to their version of a pay TV replacement. You can just subscribe to the thing individually. I think that's more attractive for consumers. It seems to be what they want. And I think on the backside of that, that move in general has kind of validated YouTube TV as a suitable replacement for your satellite TV service in the minds of some consumers. Like they're seeing that and saying like, well, okay, if the NFL, this multi-billion-dollar, sports league is betting on it, it must be a pretty safe thing. It's probably going to be around a while. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty significant point. The other thing I was going to ask you is whether up converting to 4K, if that makes the players taller, if it makes them wider, does it change anything?
I'll let you know. I'm going to find out. I'm kind of. I think what happens is, I think it's recorded in like 1080p, and there's like an up conversion to 4K to improve the resolution of the signal. So they're claiming it'll be broadcast in 4K format.
Cool.
I did watch some World Cup in 4K.
Oh, yeah.
On my 4K TV, it wasn't a big difference, quite honestly, between the regular
Still
HD
low scoring
feed
and kind of
4K
kind of a yawn.
feed. Yeah, it didn't change the game at all. It didn't become like a 20-14 soccer game or football, as
Football
they
is
say in
life.
the rest of the world. But
That would be a thing if you could
yeah,
up convert to 4K and then suddenly soccer players get to shoot lasers out of their eyes or something. It might add more to the game.
become like the BattleBots version of soccer.
There we go. I was annoyed you didn't use it
I've been
after
waiting for
your
that.
joke. It took so long for it to come out.
All right.
I'm trying not to overuse it,
okay,
so it's like, wait, just wait.
Okay.
For time considerations, let's move on to Kelsey. What's in your notebook this week?
So I got a cloud roundup coming up this week. Couple updates from some data center providers and also service providers. Global Cloud Exchange and TampNet Carrier are partnering up in the Nordic region to expand data center capacity and connectivity in that area. Also, IDC released a forecast that enterprise application revenue is going to increase from about $280 billion in 2022 to about $385 billion in 2026. And they said that 2/3 of that is due to investment in public cloud software. So that seems pretty significant. Billions of dollars.
Yeah, not a surprise, but that is a pretty big amount. So,
and then Microsoft also acquired a startup, Fungible. I guess that's how you say it. Fungible,
Fungible.
to help support their data center infrastructure. So, going to get into that as well.
And they were just data center, operations infrastructure or kind of an OSS?
I think
type
so.
thing?
But I'll dig in more to that and have an update
I'm
this
just
week.
speculating. I have no idea. I'm guessing.
I hear fungible. I think NFT.
Yeah,
which is like another thing I don't really understand.
It wasn't anything to do with, discredited or highly suspect financial instruments.
Isn't Microsoft going to buy ChatGPT, our new?
Probably not, but I bet they're working on
Did see that
something.
rumor, yeah.
I bet they're all intrigued enough by the technology that they
I
can.
mean, if they buy it and bury it in Bing, then fine. That ends the concern.
Putting anything in Bing is very important, by
That's where we
definition.
should hide all of our enemies.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Got the rim shot. Okay. Well, if you received the rim shot, that's a good thing.
I know.
Kelsey's got
Phil's
that
gonna like
itchy trigger
revoke my
finger
drum
now. Yeah,
privileges.
she's ready to go.
I can't reach. I can't turn those off. You're your own admin.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So it's just Kelsey with the out of control.
Okay, I'm done.
And apparently a baseball organ.
Hey, we were talking football. That
That's
sounds
from
baseball.
that game where they roll the ball around.
Right,
Right?
yeah.
Oh boy.
It's like
Yeah.
bowling.
This is wow. Yeah. Okay. Just Nicole,
I'm sorry.
the new ESPN anchor.
Are you even American? Barely.
All right. We're supposed to go to Mike next. I can't for the life of me
Yeah.
think of a transition. So Mike, over to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'll take it from here. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. Kelsey, will you just have a rim shot after everything I say? Thank you. I appreciate it. So T-Mobile is reportedly in talks to acquire Mint Mobile.
Oh, sorry.
Good. This is going well, as you're wondering.
This is what
Whenever he pauses, you gotta
Yeah,
jump in
exactly.
there.
How much longer do you think you have? About,
I got at least
It's the rim shot edition.
But anyway, so yeah, T-Mobile. I'll as much as I want more rim shots, I'll continue without them. Thank you, though, Kelsey. I appreciate it.
Nicole in the chat is like, can we please just call it a drum roll?
Please, I'm begging. I'm begging.
Sure, gotcha.
Begging you all to meet a
roll it is.
teenager, get updated on the lingo, and start using the words drum roll.
Gee whiz.
Got it. Fortunately, no one under 50 is listening to this. So
That's no, yeah.
I hope anyone listening is just like on a rowing machine, so they're like not falling off their elliptical.
Yeah.
right.
How ridiculous we
Even
are.
a stationary type is probably
Yeah.
at this point.
Anyway,
So, Mike,
T-Mobile. T-Mobile is
Over to you, Mike.
reportedly
What are we doing?
going to acquire Mint Mobile. I think that's all I have to say. Actually, that's the only thing that I'm open. It's seriously.
Now, wait.
Well,
I
that's-
got a
that's
question
all that's
because
happening, though.
I saw.
God, my
Oh,
stomach
Mike, I
hurts.
thought it was. Now with Mint Mobile, they use the T-Mobile network, right? So what's the value? Is it just the subscriber base, or kind of what? I see the commercials, but I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
isn't
what
Ryan
is
Reynolds
Mint
like? Doesn't
really
he own it
the-
or something? That's what he
what's
says in the
what-
commercials.
what's- Yeah, it's like the Deadpool.
So yeah, Ryan Reynolds owns
Yeah.
some of Mint Mobile, not all of it, but
Okay.
some of it. And rumor is that he and really the company that owns Mint Mobile is called Ultra Mobile, and the CEO of Ultra Mobile is a guy named David Glickman, and supposedly he's been trying to sell Ultra Mobile and Mint Mobile for like years now. And the rumor is, from what I've heard from my sources, is that he's asking way too much for that. It's Mint Mobile and Ultra Mobile they're prepaid, and the average revenue per user is really low. And supposedly David Glickman has been asking a lot to sell those businesses, and he's been shopping them around for a while, supposedly. So T-Mobile is reportedly kicking the tires on it, according to Bloomberg, but no deal in the works as far as we know. But we'll see if T-Mobile actually buys Mint Mobile. Rimshot.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
We
drum roll.
might be having a little bit of technical difficulties here, but I think in general the main carriers, since the U.S. market is completely saturated, as far as smartphones go, and everybody has service and at least one device on some kind of plan, they're probably looking for alternate brands and MVNOs to be access to either different income segments, different consumers that spend a little bit differently, that maybe consume mobile services a little bit differently, and also possible expansion, because that's really the only way they're going to grow in a completely saturated market, because the iPhone and Samsung smartphone refresh cycle isn't happening every quarter when they report earnings. It's happening every year, which is still too fast. But I think that kind of maybe also part of the motivation, especially on T-Mobile's part, is not just that it's more customers, but it's a completely different kind of customer that has a completely different kind of spending pattern.
Yeah, I'm sure they're kicking the tires, but we'll find out if that actually results in a deal or not.
Okay, great. Let's go to the guardian of the Urban Dictionary, Nicole.
Thank you for that drum roll, Kelsey.
Yes.
That was really nice of you to offer up a drum roll. Not to be a broken record on this podcast, but I am going to talk about the FCC broadband map again, specifically because by the time this goes up, we're recording on Thursday afternoon. When this goes up on Friday the 13th, it will be the day. Yep. That's the sound. If you walk into the FCC office, that's all you're hearing on a loop.
Sound of Friday the 13th at the FCC, right?
I don't have a spooky button, so
this is what happens when we.
That's the spookiest. I mean, that's spooky to me. The idea of being at a baseball game. Oh my
so
God.
many people.
Hours in public. Okay, shuddering. So anyway, this will be outdated by the time this podcast goes live on the internet and by the time people actually watch it. But the challenge deadline is tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Despite an immense amount of pressure for the FCC to move it, because there's been all sorts of complaints that the maps are not accurate enough and that the states need more time to get their challenges in, yada, yada, yada. Now, the FCC has, as of this recording, not offered more time. I don't expect that they're going to extend that deadline. I expect by the time, maybe by Monday or maybe tomorrow, we'll hear from Rose and Worsel on how many challenges they received and any next steps. But simultaneously, the FCC also opened another data collection process that's going on between now and March 1st to get another round of data for the map from the ISPs, updated from December 31st, 2022. So the challenges coming in now are for the data that was prior to December, that was submitted from, I guess, up until November. So it remains to be seen how different the map gets from that data, how that does or doesn't help resolve the challenges. But all of this is, once again, relevant because the NTIA is going to use this map. They said by June 30th to make state by state beat allocations. So I think between now and then, we're just going to hear a lot of probably from within the states, from within the consumer groups, from the ISPs themselves, maybe about how the process is or isn't going to resolve the challenges. But I'm not sure how much more we'll hear directly from the FCC about input on changing the maps. I think this might be it for the for at least the BEAD allocations. There's one other deadline tomorrow that's relevant to the industry. Senator John Thune, Republican from South Dakota, had issued a request for information basically from industry groups and other relevant parties about the Biden administration's broadband programs and stuff. It's basically an effort, I think, to start a bunch of Republican oversight over the way the administration is carrying out the $65 billion in broadband funding. So we will see what comes of that. The deadline was originally last week, but he moved it to the same date as the FCC challenge deadline, just to, I don't know, make everyone's lives better or worse, unclear. So that's it. Yeah, more to come. Fun policy stuff.
As promised, I did look at my broadband map for my neighborhood. Surprisingly, well, the one thing I learned was that there were at least three different satellite providers and one fixed wireless provider that I had never heard of that all claimed that they covered, my neighborhood in broadband that was at least 25 megabits per second upstream downstream and 3 megabits per second upstream, which is the old FCC broadband definition. So that was surprising because everyone in my neighborhood, neighbors that I've talked to and folks that I was messaging with on our little neighborhood group on Facebook said that I am old, that AT&T as the fiber provider, T-Mobile as a fixed wireless provider, those are really the only ones that had ever sold into this neighborhood. And so it was kind of surprising that other, quite a few other providers. So now we have up to 6 or 7 providers claiming to provide service here. And maybe they do, or maybe they technically have the coverage, but I would have no way of knowing, how to even compare prices for their services or get in touch with them. And I wonder if that experience is at all similar to other consumers around the U.S. They look at the thing and they're surprised at how many companies they see covering their neighborhood.
Yeah, I saw satellite providers that I didn't expect to see in my neighborhood too, but like I wouldn't even consider reaching out to a satellite provider in New York City. So I had no idea that they were
unless
around.
You had a rooftop apartment and you were outdoors all the time.
Now that sounds nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
alone on a roof.
Well, I wonder if there's a minimum amount of coverage they could provide, but it's just like is anybody going to use it, or is it something that's baked into some other consumer product or offer or something like that? Like maybe they have to claim it because it's something that they use for an automobile emergency thing or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I'm very very curious about how many other providers people found when they went to the broadband map. And I'll never know now because the deadline is today. If you're listening,
right today. We live in the future on this podcast.
That's right.
In the future, alone on a roof.
Well, I should clarify though that you can continue to submit challenges. The challenges are going to be rolling in terms of being accepted, but for the purpose of the BEAD allocation, the deadline is today.
Right, and just to confirm one more thing, Mike did nothing whatsoever with the broadband map.
Mike loves the digital divide.
No, I didn't look at it. I don't want to do anything with it. Please don't make me do that. Thank you.
Mike, are you like one of these people? Mike's like, I didn't register to vote because that's how they get you for jury duty. Like
Right.
he's still in that mindset.
I got a jury duty summons for February also. So
they don't want any of us on a jury.
My last jury duty was late February of 2020, and it was like a scary time to be stepping into a courtroom. And I remember I bought a bottle of Purell at a Walgreens across the street, and that was the last time I saw Purell at a Walgreens for many, many months to come.
Yeah, I bet you felt silly for drinking it all at one stop. Right?
Hey, we all have our way of getting through jury.
Kelsey, get your hand off that damn button.
no.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Oh, good.
I think we have to stop this now.
Hey, guess what, everybody? It's Friday. Clearly, we've been in Friday mode for a while now. We're going to get better at this as the year goes on. This is only.
No, we're not. We're all getting fired as soon as this goes up.
We promised to add more buttons. Yeah. Let's keep adding buttons to Kelsey's panel there, and it'll get better and better. But all right, last call. Any last thing anybody wants to share?
I have a mug with a llama eating a pizza in space. That's all I wanted to share.
I wish you were kidding, but you're not.
Yeah. It's like, pizza in space.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I think that sums
now,
everything
if you listen to the audio version of this, you're missing out.
Really are.
Yeah, I know.
He's on both sides too.
Get over to the video.
He goes all the way around.
Kiara, I think that's our cutaway shot there for the episode. It's just the Kelsey's llama pizza bug.
Llamas in space.
All right. That concludes Notebook Dump for the work week ending Friday the 13th, January 13th. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Have a great weekend. I knew it. She was